Hi everyone, my name is Sandy Swamdwini and welcome to Tax Shelter. Today I'm going to be discussing how you can become a tax practitioner without having a degree or a diploma. Now, in order to become a tax practitioner without a degree or a diploma, you require a lot of experience. But then for some of these professional bodies, you don't necessarily need to have experience, that structured experience that is within a tax environment. So if you've been wondering how you can become a tax practitioner but you don't have a degree or a diploma, then this is the video for you. I've been getting a lot of questions out of this, and I'm still going to do internships and also just try and cover and also places where some people can get tax experience in order to be able to become tax practitioners. Now, before I can start, I need to explain to you how you can become a tax practitioner in South Africa. One of the things that are compulsory for you to do is you need to register with a professional body. Now, there's lots of professional bodies out there. There's the South African Institute of Taxation, which is SAIT. They recently changed their name. Before, they were the South African Institute of Tax Practitioners. So if I use those interchangeably, please don't get confused. Now we have who we call SAIPA, which is the South African Institute of Professional Accountants. They're concentrating, they're more of an accountants a type of body, but then they do have a Center of Tax Excellence, which is a body that actually caters for tax practitioners. And then you also have SAICA, where you've got your CAs, your auditors, and your your accounting technicians. I am going to be concentrating on 3 professional bodies. The reason I'm doing this is because these are the ones that I've got a clear information, and also actually were able to actually speak to someone about these ways in which you can become a tax practitioner, because this has been requested so many times and by a lot of people. Now, before I start, I need you to be clear that in order for you to register with SARS, in order to become a tax practitioner, you need to be a member of a professional body. SARS introduced this in 2011 after having seen that this industry was not regulated properly. In fact, it was not regulated at all. And then there were so many people who called themselves tax practitioners, and they were basically messing up with the profession, because there was a lot of fraud. And also there was just no way for people to actually go and report if they've been wronged by a professional, by a tax practitioner. So SARS had to do something, and that way they introduced that you have to be registered with a professional body. With some of these, you register with a professional body, then the professional body communicates with SARS on your behalf, then you register with SARS. Very important. It's not enough that you register with your professional body. You also have to register with SARS as well. That's where you're going to get what you call a PR number, which is a practitioner number from SARS. So 2 things: register with a professional body and then register with SARS. Normally, after you've registered with the professional body, they work hand in hand with SARS in order to get you registered. But I mean, different professional bodies have the different ways of doing things, but it's more or less the same with most of them. Now, I'm going to start with SAIPA, which is the South African Institute of Professional Accountants. Now, within SAIPA, there are many memberships that you can get, but I'm going to speak specifically to the membership that you can get if you only have a matric, right? Now, I will talk to you about what the requirements, what requirements do you need other than your matric that you need in order to be able to register with SAIPA. So I'm not going to touch on all other memberships that you can get yes, there's many others that you can. For instance, if you're a professional accountant with SAIPA, you can register to be a tax practitioner, but I'm not going to be concentrating on that today. It's just simply the ones that you can register for, even if you have a matric. And I'm doing this because there's so many people out there who have matrics, number one, who can't afford to go to school. There are people out there who have gone to do their degrees but then did not finish them. And you will see now how you can become a tax practitioner if you've done a certain degree, and depending on how far you went with that degree. And also there are people who've had a lot of experience in the accounting industry, so much that they actually qualify to be tax practitioners or to register as tax practitioners, but they don't know that because they've never been exposed or no one has ever told them. So this is what this video is going to be about, right? Now, the first one is the CYPA tax technician, right? With the CYPA tax technician, these are the requirements that you need in order for you to register as a tax practitioner. One, you need 4 years verifiable practical experience in a tax environment. Number 2, you need to do with the Center of Tax Excellence examination. As I explained earlier, CYPA, even though they are predominantly an accounting body, they do have a Center of Excellence portion whereby they cater to tax practitioners. So in order to get into their tax technician, which is their lowest actually membership for tax practitioners, you need to have had 4 years verifiable practical experience in a tax environment, right? Number 2, you need to complete their Center of Tax Excellence examination. I've done the examination myself. It's very simple, especially if you've had 4 years in a tax environment. You should cruise right through that examination. Especially mine was for the tax practitioner. This one is for the tax technician, and I'm sure it's going to be even simpler now because of the levels, obviously. I mean, levels. Anyway, so that's the number 1, CYPA tax technician. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a link to the respective professional bodies for that if you want to go in there and learn more, or if you want to apply or whatever the case you want to do, you can be able to go check them out. I do encourage you guys to go into these professional bodies websites and check these out for yourselves. Now, remember earlier I said that there are people who could have worked in the accounting industry and been exposed to tax and who could qualify. For instance, if you have about 4 years verifiable practical experience in a tax environment already, and you just have a matric already, you qualify for this. All you have to do is to go right to the Center of Tax Excellence examination. And that examination, obviously, when you apply, you're going to pay a fee, but the examination itself is free. You're going to pay the fee when you're applying, and then CYPA will communicate with you and they'll tell you, okay, the nearest office for you to go to, or they'll give you an option of offices where you can go write the examination. I wrote with my previous employer in Newton Park, and I communicated with them, and CYPA told them you can go write on a certain date at a certain time, and I went to write with them. So they will sort out all those logistics for you, but you will just have to go and write that exam. Now, for someone who has a matric right now, but then doesn't have this tax experience, they are, even though they do, in most cases, guys, this doesn't pay well. These internships and graduate programs don't pay well. But then, rather than sitting at home and doing absolutely nothing, then you would rather go get some kind of experience, knowing very well that you know that at the end of all of it, you are going to be able to get your practitioner designation. I don't know if that makes sense. You would rather go and try and do something, even though you know that if you get an internship or whatever the case is, you're not going to be paid very well, just for you to get the experience. I know people who go as far as doing some voluntary work in order for them to be able to get experience. And remember, guys, this needs to be verifiable. It doesn't have to be structured, yes, but then if you can verify that, okay, the 1 year and there's an employer or someone in a managerial position in whatever employment you were in that can say that, you know, I know so-and-so worked here for 3.5 years. I know so-and-so worked here for 1.5 years, and this is the kind of work that they did. And if I may add on that, in a tax environment, remember, a tax environment doesn't necessarily mean that you are doing strictly tax. I mean, when you deal with accounting, bookkeeping, you deal with tax in terms of VAT, pay as you earn. Even in HR, you deal with tax in terms of pay as you earn and income tax. So you are exposed to tax. this is the kind of experience that they're looking for. So I don't want you to think that this is tax experience, strictly doing income tax returns, or strictly doing VAT only, or strictly doing pay as you earn. If you're in HR, if you're in accounting, but you deal with VAT, in bookkeeping, you deal with VAT, you deal with pay as you earn on a daily basis, then you might qualify to apply as a tax technician with cyber, right? So those are the things that you need to check. And also, when you apply with cyber, they're going to ask for your CV to see, okay, what did you work as? For instance, okay, we were a bookkeeper for this many years, and this is what you did, and all those things. Because in your CV, right, you write all the functions that you were responsible for, right? So they will see, they will check your CV to see if that, okay, can you be able to apply for a cyber tax technician? And also, the Center of Excellent Exams is meant for that as well, to see if you actually know anything about tax, all the different tax that you'll be able to help people with. Do you have any idea of whatever it is that you will be doing if you become a tax practitioner, right? Okay, that was number one. Number two, we have the SAICA Accounting Technician SA. They call it the ATSA. Now, this one, there are 3 ways that I saw on the website that you can qualify to be to register with them as an ATSA, and subsequently, if you registered with them, then you can register with SARS, right? Remember, guys, register with the professional body, and then they will register with you, SARS, or you will speak to them to register you with SARS. So the first model in which you can qualify as an accounting technician is you need a certificate in accounting that is an NQF level 5 certificate, né? And you also need to do a 12 months registered learnership. Now, in the website, they give you a list of places in which you can do the learnership they're referring to here. Then you need to complete a competence test. So even with this one, they have a competence test. So with this one, if you have NQF level 5, right? And then you will do a 12 months registered learnership, and then you will do a completion of competence test, right, with them. And then you will register as an accounting technician with them. Then the second one is it's called a membership LPL Model 1. Here you also need an NQF level 5. This is a certificate in accounting, proof of 5-year relevant working experience, 24 months worth of an internship. Again, they give you all the companies where you can do the internship with. And then you have a completion of a professional competence test. Now, guys, an NQF level 5 is a certificate, right? It's a certificate, and normally these certificates are a year, and they're mostly done in TVET colleges. Now, TVET colleges, if you can't afford, you can get a bursary, or you can get NSFAS to fund you. And also, most of the places where they've mentioned here that actually offer these internships, the 12-month one and the 24-month one, they actually fund you. I think they do it in conjunction with SETA. There are different SETAs in South Africa in order to encourage employment and people to have experience. Then companies most of the times partner with those SETAs. So you just need to go to the website saica.co.za, and then you click their memberships, you click accounting technician SA, and then you read how you can get into these internships and how you can become part of this. Now, the third way you can register with SAICA for the accounting technician SA model in order to become a tax practitioner is the second one, which is third membership model for the accounting technician, which is the membership LPL model 2. Now, for this one as well, you need an NQF level 5 qualification. There's a list on the website of the qualifications that you need of the qualifications that you can do, as well as the colleges that you can register with in order to get that qualification. And then you need 5 years relevant experience. Now, you also need to complete what they call as a Collaborators Declaration. In other words, for the 5 years experience, they want someone sign and say that we collaborate, we agree that so and so did this kind of work with us. In other words, that could be a manager or someone who supervised you in all these places that you've worked in. Now, 5 years worth of experience. This now experience doesn't necessarily have to be structured tax experience. It can be experience generally in the accounting industry. But then, guys, what's very important here is to make sure that, number one, as you can see, it's very important to make sure that you don't burn your bridges, because I know there isn't, especially with young people, very few times you'll find a person staying at a job for at least more than 5 years, or 5 years for that matter. So make sure you don't burn your bridges, because in cases like this is where you need collaborators. This is where you're going to have to go to the person that you used to work for, and depending on how you left the employment, the person has to collaborate that, okay, well, you know what, so and so worked here, and this is the kind of job that they were doing, or maybe this is the kind of an employee that they were. I don't know. What I need you to do though is to go to www.cyca.co.za and find out and read for yourself most of these. Okay, most of these, it's self-explanatory stuff, but then you just need to go and read for yourself and understand. Maybe if you don't understand, there are contact details there for people that you can contact to get clarity on most of these. And you'll find with professional bodies, most of the times, each and every year, they update their requirements and so on and so forth. But for this one, what I do, it's actually the cheapest subscription, because I know for CYPA, I forgot to check, but it's about 3,000 and something if you want to be part of part of CYPA as a tax technician. But then with this one, I know it's very cheap compared to most of them. Actually, this one is 1,630 for an annual subscription, 1,630 for the annual subscription, and then the entrance fee that you need to pay when you are submitting the application, it's 334.65. These include VAT. For CYPA, I know it's Pagoma 2,000 or 3,000 in order. That's for the annual subscription, and then I'm sure you also pay an amount there I did pay an amount when I was submitting my application. Obviously, guys, you're thinking, why am I paying for all these things? If you are part of a professional body, there are services that they offer you. For instance, if you have a problem with tax, if there's something you don't understand, there's an email or a telephone number that you can call that is readily available to assist you with all those. And also with some of them, they come with insurance that you can be insurance that you can be part of if you are trading as a tax practitioner on your personal capacity. There's insurance that should there be someone suing you, then that insurance will come in handy. So it's quite a lot of money, but this is the cheapest annual subscription actually you're gonna get on the market. I'm sure of that, because I know mine with SATE as it stands right now, it's 5,900 rand, which is a lot. But anyway, the last one that I am going to be looking at is the one that I'm part of. I actually used to be part of CYPA as well, but then I just didn't see the point of being part of different I was part of CYPA and cyber and now SATE, and I thought there's no need for me to be part of so many professional bodies. It doesn't make sense. So I chose this one, which is SATE. And now if you're asking yourself, why did I choose this one? Or if you're going to be asking in the comments, why did I choose this one? It's because SATE stands for the South African Institute of Taxation. Number one, it used to be the South African Institute of Tax Practitioners. The reason I chose this one, it's because it's designed for tax practitioners. There's no other work that they do. For instance, if I may make an example, CYPA, South African Institute South African Institute of Professional Accountants, their main mandate or their main business is professional accountants. They later on added the Center of Tax Excellence because they saw the demand, right? So, not to put it in a bad way, but I'd say that the Center of Tax Excellence it's a by the way for them. Even though they're actually a quality professional body, their Center of Tax Excellence is actually very good. It's proper stuff, really. If I think I'm gonna go back and be a member of, but later on when I can afford to pay all these subscriptions, because I mean, SAIT, this, SAIT and that, the amount like about 9,000 rand, and no. So I'd go back because they're quality one. I've never been a part of SAICA for the accounting technician one, but again, SAICA, it's for chartered accountants, right? SAICA's main thing, it's actually auditing, even though I'm sure CAs can argue that they're very diverse. They can go into auditing, they can go into tax, they can go into private sector and whatnot, which I don't argue. It's true, they're very diverse. But I will tell you that I have chartered accountants that consult with me for their tax. So much as SAICA is very diverse, and when you are a chartered accountant, you can just register to be a tax practitioner. They don't get a lot of experience. And for someone who has done articles as well, even though I never finished them, you don't get a lot of tax experience when you're doing your articles, especially in accounting firms. You get close to zero. You get just enough for you to be able to complete that part of tax in order for you to be able to be signed off. But then they don't get a lot of experience. Most things they do is auditing. If they're not in auditing, then they do accounting work. So that's SAICA, right? And then, so those are the reasons why I chose SAIT, which is the South African Institute of Taxation. I chose them because their main thing is tax. If they'll be doing other things on the side, maybe later on, but I will know, like I know that this is what they were created for, taxation, and they're good at it as well. I'm very confident with how they're doing things, and I've been satisfied thus far. Now, with SAIT, how do you become a tax practitioner if you don't have a degree or a diploma? With SAIT, the entry level is tax technician. It's called tax technician. It's actually the same as a SAIPA. But now, these are the requirements for the South African Institute of Taxation tax technician. 1, you have to have an NQF level 4. That is a matric. NQF level 4 is a matric. You must satisfy a recognition of prior year learning. They refer to it as an RPL examination that is offered by SAIT themselves at a technical level. So you need to complete that exam and pass it, right? That's requirement number 2. Then you must have 5 years of unstructured tax experience. Again, the keyword here is unstructured, which is why I always encourage people, if they've been working in the accounting industry, go there and apply. You have absolutely nothing to lose if you don't get in. And also the nice thing about it, if you apply to be a tax practitioner with one of these professional bodies, they will tell you the reason why you don't qualify, so that you can go back and work on that reason. For instance, they'll say that, okay, while you may have 5 years experience in accounting, only 2.5 years of it counts because you weren't specifically doing accounting. Then you know that, okay, I have to work towards getting at least another 2.5 years experience in tax. So in that way, you know where to go within your career, or if you know that your main goal is to become a tax practitioner, right? So you need that 5 years unstructured experience. Now, if you've been working in the accounting industry, I urge you to just go apply. Just go apply and see what happens. Just take that leap of faith. Now, the last requirement, if they do accept you as a tax technician for SAIT, you need within 3 years to upgrade your NQF level 4 to an NQF level 5. Guys, it doesn't get easier than this. It doesn't. You have a matric, 5 years working experience that's unstructured within a tax environment. You complete the RPL examination, which they will offer themselves when you actually when they accept your application. And then within 3 years of being accepted as a tax technician with your NQF level 4, in other words with your matric, then you need to complete an NQF level 5 within 3 years. And that's a long time, guys. The certificate takes 1 year. So if you do it each and every year, you have 3 chances. In fact, there's no reason for you to fail for that matter. So, or else if you're a busy person, being a 9-to-5 person, then you can take half the modules in 1 year, half the modules in the other year. If you happen to not pass, then you know that you have an extra year to clean all of that up. So I would really encourage people, if you have a matric, then you need to definitely go apply for a tax technician with the South African Institute of Taxation in order to see if you do qualify. Right? So that was the last one, guys. And if you, one more thing, guys. The entrance fee, say it is a bit on the expensive side. As I've told you, my annual subscription is 5,900 Rand. And the entrance fee, which is the fee you need to pay when you're applying, is 750 Rand. Guys, you most probably spend that on data. So I'm sure you can must speak to your people, your parents, or whoever, and to try and fund that at least, so that you can at least do the application and know where you are. Now, the annual fee is 4,280. Now, before you go like, what? You can pay this over a period of 12 months in installments, which is a nice thing. So you'll take that, divide by 12, and then whatever it is, you can pay that on a monthly basis in installments. This is what I love about SAIT, which is very considerate, especially for someone who's a tax technician and who's starting out. You don't have that much money stashed somewhere, right? Now, another thing I love about SAIT is that with there is what we call, when you register with the professional body, there's what we call CPD, which is a continuous professional development, which is every year you need to attend trainings, to keep up to date, especially with tax. It's constantly changing, not only in South Africa, but all over the world. So you need to make sure you keep up to date what's happening. And what normally happens is, now I'm going to speak with SAIT with what I'm registered with. They have webinars. Some you can have, they're available online. Some you can go attend. But now because of COVID, most of their webinars are online. And what they do is they save them, and then when you have time, you can just go watch. You pay for this as well. But also the nice thing about it, while you can pay, I think it's about an amount of 3,600 Rand. That is now for my package as a tax practitioner, as a general tax practitioner. I don't know about this one, but I'm sure it's lower. But then for my package, it's about 3,600 Rand. Even that one, I can pay it over a period of 12 months. In other words, I can also pay it in installments as well, which is very nice. So I'm sure the other professional bodies have the same thing. I know with SAIPA, there's the same thing. There's continuous professional developments that you need to meet up. They will tell you, we need you to meet up. Say for instance, I'll say you need 30 points per year in order to remain with us. This is just an example, by the way. They will say that, SAIT will say that if you were a tax technician, you need about 30 points every year of CPD in order to remain compliant with us. So yeah, guys, again, if you like this kind of content, please share it, please subscribe to the channel, and also please like. It really does help my channel, and also it also helps me to be encouraged also to continue doing what I'm doing. And please leave your comments in the comment section of any questions that you might have. And also I will leave the links for these professional bodies on the description. Do check them out. What else can yeah, that's it, guys. Kindly share as well with your friends and family who might need this information, especially now. There's just a lot going on. People are frustrated, there are no jobs, and so please. And also, guys, don't use tax practitioners that are not registered. You're getting yourself into trouble. getting yourself into trouble. There's a lot of information available out there for you to be able to submit your income tax returns yourself. But if you don't have time, try by all means and use tax practitioners that are registered. One of the things that you need to look out for when a tax practitioner is not registered is someone who charges based on the refund you get. That should be a huge red flag for you, because not only is that illegal, but it's a no-no. A genuine real tax practitioner will have an amount that they charge for a tax return, not based on a percentage of your refund. That's not acceptable. It's not allowed. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. Again, later.